try to simulate it, but offensively, they didn't do much in week one, only scoring 36 points. Fully Field's a different animal. They've got really good balance scoring. They've got very good players, athleticism, guys to get to the tin. They can get to the rack. They can shoot it from beyond the arc. They can stroke it, whether it's Jordan Robinson, whether it's Mason Murray, Prince Walker, Keelan Kennedy, Tim Hagee. So it's a very good-looking team. They are stacked. They're looking to pick up their second win in this tournament and get 2 more points as well. We'll have the opening tip-off, and I would suggest probably if you want to sneak a peek and take a quick break from our YouTube channel, go get yourself something to drink, maybe a little bite to eat. Come back in about 3 to 5. We should be ready to go. We're looking to start in about 5 to 10 minutes, opening tip-off of this one, Fully Feared versus Cnx Orion. All right, here we go. We get set for the opening tip-off. Fully fear with those sharp uniforms, those yellow and black uniforms. Cnx Orion, they have to get out to a fast start, and they've got to figure out a way to muster up some offense. 36 points is not going to win them this game. That's what they scored in a week one loss to the Bisons. If they come out of here and only score 37, 40 points, they might get blown out tonight. Fully feared loves to get up and down the floor. And Cnx has the rock to start things off, moving right to left, and a 3 to start things off, in and out. And already a whistle on the floor. So I'm not sure what the whistle was for. It'll be Haggy, Johnson, Walker, Robinson, Hele for Fully Feared. For Cnx, Bellinger, VJ, Lewis, James, Calhoun. All right, so it'll stay possession. Cnx with a 3 in the corner. That's a good start. And that's James knocking home the 3-0 early on, minute in. Player to watch, Fully Feared. Jordan Robinson had that monster game in week one. Just unbelievable effort. His offensive efficiency is tops right now after 1 week in the tourney. I mean, his numbers were just off the charts, staggering. And another 3. So, this is your best case scenario now, back-to-back trifectas for Cnx. It's a 7-4 lead right now. Oh my goodness. I don't know what. Cnx, something in the water this afternoon to start things off. Absolutely. This is the best case scenario for them. After scoring just 37 points or 36 points, they've got 10 already. And the confidence within the shots, too. Transitional opportunity coming back the other end. They turn it right over. Fully Feared. Up 10-6. And Lewis has been the catalyst thus far for Cnx. Giving them a lift in this first quarter. I mentioned that 36 points in that first game, that loss, and a good 3 coming back for Fully Feared. And a turnover, and they've got numbers. Look out. They love to get out, too. They got some high flyers and another 3 ball. So the turnovers, you cannot turn it over against Fully Feared. They've got way too much firepower. And they trailed early, and now they take the lead 12-10. Check that, 12-10. Underneath, can't convert. That was James off the miss. Fully Feared wants to get on a run. Look out. Good entry pass. Little condensation. They'll swing it for another 3, and that drops home. This is what they do. They lull you to sleep. And they have a bunch of 3-point shooters, like a barrage of 3-point shooters. I mentioned what Robinson did with the 28-25. Johnson's a player. Walker's a player. And they lead at 15-10, up by 5, under 6 to play in this first quarter of action. They are not hesitant to shoot the 3 ball. They just are not. Uncontested lay-in. Coming back the other way. That three doesn't fall. And it's tipped out of bounds. Cnx, it'll stay with fully feared. Clock continues to run. 5.5 to go in this first quarter. Feared up 15-13. Robinson gives it up. Step back three. That's off the mark. And again, tipped around. Another opportunity, second chance opportunity. Tried to go inside. They turn it over and right back the other way. My goodness, the sloppiness. And contact. And I'll draw the foul. Very athletic team, very versatile. They can put it on the floor. They can draw the contact, and you saw it right there. That's Johnson who'll go to the line. 5 already for Rock Johnson. He had 19 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist in week 1. 16-13, fully feared up by 3. 5 and change to go in this first. James gave it up. They try to go back inside. That's a tough off-balance shot. Just short. Robinson can't convert. And the 3 is off the mark as well. 2-on-1 opportunity. Little Euro step. Right back transition defense. Bellinger puts it on the floor and can't finish. But he got hacked in the act of shooting, so he'll go to line for 2. So if you're a CNX fan right now, you want to keep this game within striking distance. I know it's the first quarter. You want to weather that early storm. They came out guns a-blazing, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc to take the early lead. Little run now by fully feared off some turnovers. But if you're CNX, you want to keep it within striking distance. You can't afford to have this game bleed into double digits, 10, 12, 14 points. Second for Bellinger. Missed both. Now fully feared wants to get out. They want to run. Johnson again, count it. Knocks home a wide open 3. Easy look. Early deficit turns into a 6-point lead right now. 18-12, 4.5 to go, and they turn it over. Thought they were going to call for a backcourt violation, and they're not. Might have called on the ball foul. So it'll stay with CNX. Clock continues to run. 4:13. Bellinger has it. Thought about the 3. Puts it on the floor. Kick out. There's a clean, wide open look. And that drops home. And that's what they need. These clean looks. Robinson off the receiving end. Caught off balance. Gets his own rebound. Then gets hacked. He'll go to the line. But that's a perfect example. They get those clean looks. They got to knock them down. I want to check. I believe that might have been Prince Walker, so let me just double up. I believe that's Walker to the line, so I apologize for that. Second of 2. And that is Walker, number 23, 6'4" guard. All right, 3:43 to go in this first quarter. Some fresh bodies coming in, some substitutions. Fully feared up, 21-15. CNX moving right to left. Dark Unis. Second game of 4 on tap. Lewis has it. They almost throw it away. Johnson applies pressure. Got to get rid of it. Back over to Lewis. Picks up the dribble. He'll kick it out. That drops home for a 3 ball. Cnx doing a good job of staying within striking distance, not getting rattled. High arcing three coming back the other end. And just as I say that, that's a gorgeous looking shot. Johnson again. Three has been friendly this afternoon. It's a 6-point lead. Fully Feared wants to get out, and they just turn it over. Uncharacteristic. That's a bad turnover right there. Had an opportunity for a good look. 23-15, 4:08 to go. Nice balanced scoring for both teams respectively. Jay with a couple, Lewis with a couple, Calhoun with 6 for CNX. Those turnovers. Not going to sit well with a coach. 6 total in this first quarter combined for both these teams. 21-15, 2:19 to go in this first quarter. Jay for 3. Count it. No, I thought it went in. My goodness. Looks like the ball's going in and popping right back out. Lewis has it. Another turnover coming back the other way, so a look out. And an easy two-handed flush by Robinson. So Jay's getting some real nice clean looks from beyond the arc. And CNX is getting the shots that they're looking for. $1:28 to go in this first quarter. That 3 drops home. So no denying it right there. Minute to go in this first quarter. Little drop off. Swing it one more time. Kind of a line drive three-pointer. This is a little bit of the breathing room we thought about. 31-18 right now for Fully Feared. And they're trying to tack on a couple more. 35 seconds ago. Nice entry pass and an easy glide in, but they can't finish. Own rebound, and again, little contact. So CNX led this one early. Fully Feared starting to go on a run. Johnson right now with 12. Haggy with 8. Robinson with 9. So this was the danger that we talked about. Second is true. Keep them within striking distance. Couple bad turnovers and bad shot selection, and some unfortunate shots not dropping with some clean looks. And now all of a sudden, that early 6-point lead turns into a 17-point deficit. Fully Feared finally waking up. And this has kind of been the issue with CNX. We saw this in week 1. James drawing that double, looking for some help. So the first quarter comes to an end. It was a nice start by CNX. And then Fully Feared started to flex that muscle. A lot of seasoned players on this squad. Johnson with 12. Robinson with 10. They lead at 35-18 for CNX. Lewis with 4. Calhoun with 6. And Jay with 2. Second quarter coming up. Game 2 of our 4-game slate this afternoon. Again, Warriors League Thailand 2026, 10th annual edition. Rich Quinones. Hope you're enjoying the telecast and broadcast. As always, get social with us on IG. Subscribe, like, comment on the YouTube channel as well. We are in the midst. Round 1, 8 teams will play each other once. The top 4 teams, which place 1 to 4, will advance to the second round. Round 2, the last 4 teams, that'll be the semifinal. First place team will play 4th place. Second place team will play 3rd place. And then we'll have the round 3, which is obviously the championship game. And if you're just joining us, 4 quarters, 4 10-minute quarters, 2 minutes in between the quarters, 5 minutes between the half. And if the game ends in a tie, you'll get a 5-minute overtime session. A win is 2 points, a loss is 1 point. Match absent, ineligible, DQ, 0 points. And max 15 players per squad. 17-point lead for Fully Feared as we get set for quarter number 2. You know, as this tournament progresses and you have teams that are scouting Fully Feared, they see that Walker, Johnson, Robinson, kind of that triple threat. Off the glass. So defensively, you got to make the right decision. Rotation as well. And that's going to be a challenge for some of these teams. Tried to drop it off to Jay, and that's a turnover by McGill. But the idea was there, just going to get it over. As we saw in the first game, when the three-point shot's not falling, you're going to be in trouble, and that's what we're seeing right now after that nice little sizzling 3 of 4 from beyond the arc start from Cnx. Little off-balance bunny. Doesn't drop. Still 39-18. 8.5 to go. The turnovers, they're not helping Cnx right now as they trail this one by 21, under 8 to go in the second quarter. Walker picks up the dribble. Wide open 3. Front of the iron, and a turnover again. Coffin corner, why not? That doesn't drop. It's a good take. And a jailbreak coming back the other end. An easy lay-in. Got to get back on defense. 21-point cushion right now for Fully Feared. 41-20. Clock continues to run. DJ with a 3. His shot hasn't fallen. Dude, that's a tough take. Some good sportsmanship. But, I mean, that's Walker. Got to be careful with those fouls when you're grabbing a player when he's airborne like that, like down the surface. So 41-20. And this, you know, right now with 6:33 to go in the second quarter, this one after a nice little start by Cnx, it's starting to really get away from them. And they just don't have the bullets in the chamber. I mean, that's just being honest. You got guys that are playing hard. It's just a bad matchup for him. Second is true. So it's a 22-point lead right now, under 7 to go in this second quarter. Fully feared a big Gaines can't convert the 3. Here comes Fully feared again. I just love those uniforms. So sharp looking. They'll swing it, extra pass. Why not? And an easy glide in for a lay-in. 44-20. It's a 24-point lead. 6:33 to go in the second quarter. And a little ticky-tack foul right there. I'm not sure who's going to get tagged with it. $44-20. I'm starting to get a little physical underneath right now. I think it's a little more frustration by Cnx. Walker gets up, grimacing a little bit, trying to walk it off. You see he's laboring. Certainly don't want to lose him when you're up by 24 in a game that right now the opponent's not really putting up any type of resistance. So line drive 3 again. Robinson. You can see right now, they're enjoying themselves. And they're up by 27. Now on the follow, Robinson again. No one even remotely boxed him out. That's as easy as a 2 as he's going to get tonight. Foul line finally drops home for Lewis. 51-22. Yeah, I just didn't like this matchup on paper. And as I said, it's no disrespect to Cnx. They just don't have the horses to compete with Fully Feared. They don't. These guys play hard. But the level of competition, you just see it. They had to keep this game within striking distance. You know, even if they're down 10 or 12. Look out, alley-oop, and that doesn't fall. They had to keep it within striking distance. And aside from that first 3 or 4 minutes, just tough matchup. Too many bigs for Fully Feared. It's just very versatile. They're going to be a very tough out. I'm looking forward to seeing them matched up against the Titans. 53-26. And that 3 finally drops home. And that was Mepat Nibani with the 3 ball. 53-29, 3.5 to go in the second quarter. But they get out. They play a little more of a wide open type of game. You see right there? Just, drawing in the double. Johnson with the gorgeous look inside. I mean, just The court vision, the acumen, just one step ahead. 55-29, 3 to go in the second quarter. That's a nice kiss off the glass. Right hand. Cnx coming back. And again, little spurt. Find themselves down 22. The height advantage, you see it right there. You can't teach height. They've got the big 6'8", 6'4", 6'3". And I think Achor Halle checked out. 57-33. That's a long, long three. But this is what you look for. This is a team that scored 36 in week 1, okay? They're right at 36 in the second quarter. So you got to take some positives away. And right now, it's a 21-point lead, unless Philly really just starts getting very sloppy and careless with the basketball, as we just saw right there. You don't want a team to kind of hang around. Give them a little life, make it tougher than it has to be, where you have an opportunity to maybe give some guys, a blow here and there and rust them up. 57-38. Left it short with James. And a missed dunk, which is kind of a rarity. Extra pass, wide open look. I don't know if it's the rims. Like these shots, they go in and they pop right back out in an easy lay-in and a dunk. And unless you're ripping the twine like right there, which is a gorgeous looking 3-point shot from James, like you have to ripple the twine. It's not going in. There you go. Back and forth. And Johnson with a 3 to match. And the turnover. Final 5, and that drops home, so 64-41. And we're at the half. We'll get you some updated stats. We'll step aside, and we'll give you a little recap of this first half of action. Cnx made an interesting first couple minutes. Fully feared, though, took control in the first quarter, worked it inside. Robinson, Johnson, Walker doing the damage, and they lead at 66-41 at the break. All right, we're almost set for the third quarter of action. We take a look at some highlights. Let's give you the rundown, what transpired over the first two quarters. Cnx started off hot, 3 of 4 to start things off in that first quarter. Really fizzled out, though. They were up by 6, and then Fully Feared just kind of turned it on. They went on a run to close it out. 17-5 run. They led it after one 35-18. They also put up 31 in that second quarter. But again, the positive for Cnx, this is a squad that scored 36 last week. They're already at 41. So if you want to talk about it being a little more wide open in some opportunities because of, say, the lack of transitional defense by Fully Feared because they're up big, so be it. But this is something that if you're a fan of Cnx, you can build upon. They still need players to step up scoring, and you're kind of getting it a little bit in spurts tonight. Lewis with 6, Calhoun with 14, Mebon with 11, and I'll give you Fully Feared's numbers in a moment. Again, Cnx starts things off. They're in black and a good start with the 3 ball. So again, they're going to hang around. You love that they're playing really hard basketball. Hagee with 16, Johnson with 15, Robinson with 19. Fully Feared. Step back, 12-footer. That's off the mark. And then a little loose change. Count the bucket. A little hoop and hom. And once again, going to the line. The yeoman-like effort and the work and just using the body and just bang. And that's what Fully Feared does best. They love the contact down on the low block. Just so hard to defend. They're just too big and strong. 69-44. Nice hustle play. Cnx for the turnover, and they give it right back. High arcing shot. That drops home. That's Johnson. Rock Johnson. Almost stole it away, and they do get it. 71-44, and really starting to break it open early on in this third quarter. Easy gliding with the left hand. So 6 straight, and now it's a 29-point lead. Johnson, catch and shoot. Let's get you some more numbers. Fully Feared got to the line 8 times, only 5 turnovers, really 4. They just turned it over to start things off in the third. Cnx, 13 turnovers, 9 of 24 from beyond the arc. Fully Feared hasn't feared any better, 9 of 25. But again, they've been able to get out, as we see, and pretty much use the athleticism, use their size and their strength to pretty much do anything they want. And I think it's going back the other way. Walker and Johnson kind of stating their case right now. Clock continues to tick. Third quarter, 7:02 to go. Second of a 4-game set. Stuff Bisons against New Force. And then the Hunters against the Titans for the 4th and final game this afternoon and into the evening. Lewis picked it up. Johnson coming back the other end with a stagger step, drop off. He tried that extra pass inside the cutter. And they'll go out of bounds. Cnx, it'll stay with Fully Feared. 6:25 to go in the third, and they're up big, 73-44. Johnson with a game high 22, 18 rebounds. Trying to top the effort from week 1. So official timeout with 6:50 to go in this third quarter, 73-44. They scored 84 against New Force in a 14-point win. They've already got 73. 75. So they're well on their way to 100 plus. We haven't seen a team yet get to 100. Now, obviously, we're early on in the tournament. Ooh, that's a hard foul. Cnx still playing hard, though. Got to give him credit. That's a testament to coaching. Players obviously are not going to quit. You get it on film. And Johnson continuing the hot hand with another 3 from the top of the key and beyond the arc. 5:20 to go in this third quarter. In the paint, that doesn't drop from James. Look out! Oh, they have the dunk. Just couldn't corral it. McGill. Can't recall so many shots that have gone down and come right back up. Might have a player hurt. See if we get a timeout on the floor. And I believe that might be Achor Hele. And he's going to come off. So he landed a little awkward. See if he's okay, though. See a little frustration, laboring a little bit, getting to the bench. Not sure if it's an ankle, a knee. I know he's trying to maybe stretch out, maybe cramps. It's good to see him able to get to the bench on his own, but hopefully he's okay. Don't want to lose players, certainly in a game that's well in hand. We'll monitor that when under 4 to play in this third quarter. And you see he can't, I'm watching right now, he's trying to put, he's having some problems. He can't put weight. I'm hoping that the young man's okay. You know, he gives them good minutes and good energy. He does a little bit of everything. You know, he'll give you 7 to 10 points, 5 to 6 rebounds. You certainly don't want to lose him. And a lot of these rosters, remember, you can have 15 players, but some of these rosters, you'll see 7, 8. You won't see a ton. That's going to be a push-off going the other way. You won't see a ton of bench depth. You know, you might have 5 suiting up, maybe 6th, 7th player on the bench, 2 players on the bench. It's a lonely bench, so depth can be an issue as the tourney goes on. A little war of attrition, 82-48, under 3:40 to go. Philly Feared well on their way to going to 2-0 and grabbing 2 more points to get to 4. Johnson glides in. Untouched. And James coming back the other end. Dropping home. A layup of his own. Oh, my goodness. Robinson from Johnson with the two-handed stuff, emphatic. Now it's just becoming a track meet. McGill hit a three. Hagee hit a three. Got to be an offensive foul. It's got to go back the other way, does it not? No. Looks like they're going to get the blocking call right here. 2:14 to go in this third quarter. Walker was tagged with it, 89-53. Fully feared up big in this one. Now it'll be interesting to see if they add, roster-wise, because they're just carrying 6. And you're also talking about losing potentially, 1 or 2 forwards, because Robinson will play the power forward position, and the rest of the players, they're a guard-heavy team. They're up big in this one, 89-55. 2.5 to go in the third. Nice look inside. They can't convert. Going back the other end. They had numbers. Johnson, corner. Why not? Count it. Three players and 20-plus points. Hagee, Johnson, and Robinson. Looking for the alley-oop. Saw it from here. Johnson will pull it back out. Baseline, behind the back. Might have tippy-toed on the baseline. But you saw they were trying to set up that alley-oop. 92 points, well on their way. Passing century mark here. And we're still in the third quarter. Uncontested dunk. So as this tournament progresses and we start to get into week 3, 4, you'll start to see the teams, the level of competition, the talent level start to separate itself. And Johnson once again, easy dunk. Final 30 of this third quarter. James goes down and helped up good sportsmanship there. So, as I mentioned, as the tourney progresses, you'll start to see the intensity ratchet up and really, the top teams, you'll have an idea of who the top teams are. I think you can almost certainly see the separation, if you will. And a team like Fully Feared, a team like the Hunters, the Titans, a lot of talent. I think overall there's exceptional talent in this league, and it's a good showcase for players that want to get something on film. Final 13 in this third quarter. We'll give you updated stats as well. Fully Feared on cruise control right now. It's going to be a question of how much they win by. 96.59. We'll get you updated stats, and we'll have it all. Plus, I'll finish out my comments and my thoughts just on the exposure that Warriors League Thailand has given some of these opportunities. So 3 in the books, fully feared up 96.59. We'll step aside. Fourth quarter coming up. All right, back for the fourth quarter. Fully feared well on their way to the second one of the 20 and getting 2 points. As I mentioned, Warriors League Thailand 2026, 10th annual 20 Classic. You get national players, spotlight on foreign players, BTL players, TBL players, major spotlight on those looking to take their game to the next level. Get it on film. You build up that resume. Johnson with another 3. That doesn't fall. And it's just a prestigious tournament that showcases these players. Look out. Little showtime off the glass. Why not? A little Windex and a little self-helper. And a highlight reel dunk for Robinson. Having fun out there. That's what it's all about. But a lot of these players, they're looking to take their game to the next level, and they might want to stay over and play in Thailand, play in certain parts of Asia. And they have an opportunity right now with this tournament, the way it's set up, that the level of play, the competition, it's competitive, and these players are motivated to win the tournament. And just to kind of piggyback on the point, as it goes on and you start to separate the men from the boys and the competition starts to get ratcheted up, you're going to see the intensity of the game. So, listen, some of these games, yes, they can be a little lopsided. Yes, there can be some blowouts. But as the 20 wears on and teams have to really start to lock down and play defense, you're going to see a different animal. Under 8 to play, 101-61. Aggie, Robinson, and Johnson all with 20 plus. high arcing shot that drops home. That's James. And a 3 coming back the other end. The players now just filling up the stat sheet. So let's get you some updated stats while we can. Multiple players this evening creeping near the 30-point mark. And there's 7 to go. Another 3. Let me get you some stats. This one pretty much in the bag for fully feared. So as it stands right now, give you some numbers. And I love the fact that we can get real-time stats. Johnson has just been lights out tonight. It's 107-74. Johnson 27, Haggy 24, Robinson 26 and 20 rebounds. I think he had 28 and 25 respectively in week 1. Clock continues to wind down. 5.5 to go. Haggy, that's off the mark, runs down his own rebound. Good hustle play by Cnx as well. And right off the miss. Lewis now, long 3 coming back under the iron. Johnson has it. Alley-oop. And they can't convert. Everything else is pretty much academic at this point, fully feared. Very impressive performance, but I will say this, offensively for Cnx, for a team that only scored 37, they pretty much doubled up. They got another week under their belt, a little more flow to the offense, so they've got some things to build upon. They've got some, VJ gave them some production tonight. Calhoun, 23, McGill, 17. So they've got players. It's a tough out. It was a tough matchup tonight. $116.77. Remember, Cnx led this one early by 7, and then obviously fully feared went on a run to close out the first quarter, and they led it 35-14, and they never looked back. James slithering down the boulevard, picked up his dribble. Lewis will skip it over to James in the corner. Tracks down the rebound. Off the glass and trying to get a little too cute. Clock continues to run and the box score being filled up. Well, that's pretty much the only thing that maybe has stopped Philly Fear tonight. Everything's kind of gone their way, except a fluky little bounce here and there. But other than that, they ratcheted up. They took advantage of their size. And really the question in a blowout win, and they're well on the way, is just, their health of Achor Halle. Averaging 8 and 5 in the tournament. And now you got to wonder, you got 5 starters right now. You're thin at the forward position, and you have no bench. Final $1.30. Don't forget, we still have 2 more games to go. Stuffed Bisons against New Force. That game should be about 20 or so minutes after this one, and then the Hunters and the Titans buckle up. That's going to be a heck of a contest. And the first team to crack a Hunter in the tourney, Fully Feared. And right now, they've got a $1.22. And then for Cnx, for a team that only scored 37, excellent job offensively. They got some good production. Calhoun 23, Meacham 13, McGill 15. Turnovers were the bugaboo early on, and then when they fell behind double digits, they just could not weather that storm. Should have the final 20 seconds in this one. Little icing on the cake. Fully Fear will pick up their second win. 4 points. Cnx Orion. They'll suffer the second loss of the tourney. They sit at 2 points. And the 3, a little housekeeping. And that's going to do it. So the final should be 128-86. Fully Feared wins it, going away. I'll give you the final stats, and then we'll step aside for a breather, and then we'll get set for third game. Haggy with 24, Johnson with 30. Walker 24 and 12, and Robinson game high 36. Oh, by the way, 26 rebounds. I mean, what can you do for an encore? for Cnx Orion, Bellinger 14, Calhoun a team high 23, McGill 15. And final once again, fully feared all over Cnx 128-87. Third game coming up in a couple moments. We'll step aside. We'll take a breather. This is Warriors League Thailand 2026.